Came wandering in off the street about an hour ago. Said he'd topped someone and wanted to hand himself in.
And has he? Topped someone?
I won't know for certain until I've interviewed him. But looking at him, my feeling is... I don't know. Let's wait and see, shall we?
You're conducting the interview yourself?
Hmm.
Aren't you supposed to be taking things easy, winding down?
I'm retiring, not being wheeled off to the knackers yard. Besides, this one intrigues me. Not in 40 years on the force have I known anybody confess to a crime without having to drag it out of them.
All right. But whatever you do, make sure it sticks. Or get him out of here as soon as possible. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. (11:30 a.m. Wednesday, 29th of June. D.I. Malcolm Chilton, and assisting me with my inquiries is... Say your name, please, for the record.
Ben.
Full name, please.
Ben Watson.
Thank you. Would you like something to drink before we start? Water or something? In that case, we might as well get started. So, what is it you need to tell us, Ben? When you're ready.
I killed somebody.
And when was this?
I can't remember. Last night, I think.
You think? Surely you can remember killing someone. It's not the kind of thing you easily forget, is it?
I don't I've trouble remembering things with my memory.
I see. And where were you when you killed someone?
Benches. Raw Slade Park. By the benches. Remembrance Garden.
Should be easy enough to check out. So tell me what happened exactly. In your own words. Take your time.
I'd been for an interview. It hadn't gone well. I couldn't sleep. So I went for a walk.
In the park? And what time was this?
At 10 o'clock.
Then what happened?
Came across a man on a bench. We got into an argument, and I strangled him.
And what time was this?
Don't remember.
But you can remember leaving the house at Around 10? How's that?
Because
I already told you! I have problems with my memory! Can't you just accept it?
All right, calm down. Right, I'll send someone to take a look. We can take it from there.
Inspector, what's going to happen to me?
It's too early to worry about that. Let's take it one step at a time, shall we? Only child. Been on his own since his mother and stepfather died in a road accident 5 years ago. In hospital for the first 2. Anxiety, depression, denial, but guilt mostly.
Guilt?
He was driving the car and blamed himself for the accident. Convinced himself it was all his fault. It wasn't, of course. Just a tragic accident.
And then what?
Once the shrinks were convinced he'd come to terms and coped with it, they gave him a clean bill of health and sent him home.
But no one followed it up?
You know what it's like. Too busy. Too much paperwork. Sooner or later these things get forgotten.
And his story? Does it check out?
I've got somebody on it now. But my feeling is he concocted the whole thing in his head.
Do you have anything to substantiate that?
Not yet.
Well, make sure you do. The last thing I need right now are complications. I knew something like this would happen. Always does. Everything will be going along quite nicely and then suddenly... Between you and me, there's a chance I'll be moving on myself soon.
And you need to keep your nose clean. Don't worry. I always carry a packet of tissues in my pocket in case of emergencies.
This isn't funny, Malky.
No, Mum. You sure you couldn't have missed something? No. No, thanks for trying. If you do find anything, you will let me know, won't you? Thanks again.
Well?
Nothing. Not even a sniff.
So what are you going to do about it?
There's only one thing I can do. Talk to him again. See if I can push him into telling us the truth.
Fine, but not too hard. You know what social services are like.
Yeah. Do you take drugs?
What?
Drugs. Chemical substances. Uppers, downers, heroin.
No.
You're sure about that? Because if you do, it can lead to you imagining all kinds of things. Like having topped somebody, for instance.
Sometimes smoke weed for my nerves. Helps calm me down.
Good. Now we're getting somewhere. So were you smoking cannabis on Tuesday, before your interview? To calm your nerves? In that case, we have a bit of a problem. I dispatched my officers to the scene earlier, and they found nothing to substantiate your story. No disturbance, no body, nothing. Why do you think that is?
Maybe they looked in the wrong place.
Maybe. But they were looking where you told them to look. How do you explain that?
Because
They're half-assed morons and didn't look hard enough. This is bullshit, a joke. I come in here of my own free will to tell you everything you need to know.
down.
Calm down. I'm surrounded by idiots and incompetents, and you tell me to calm down. Am I under arrest?
No. You're helping with inquiries.
In that case, I'm out of here.
But you can be arrested. Not least for obstructing the police in their inquiries. So why don't you come back, sit down, and we can start making some sense of this nonsense. Good. Now, we're getting somewhere. So tell me again what happened on Tuesday night.
I got home for tea time. It was late. Missed the bus. Had something to eat.
You're still not convinced, are you? That it's not all just an act?
All the confusion, the sudden mood swings. It just seems a little too pat to my liking.
Well, in that case, I suggest you bring in the experts. Let them decide. Have you charged him yet?
I don't have anything to charge him with.
Right. Well, then I need to apply for an extension. 12 hours, that's all. After that, he's out of here, guilty or not. Agreed? Is it my imagination, or is he on his own in there? No brief?
He's been offered one several times, but each time he refused. Said he's guilty, so what's the point?
And you really think he's in a fit state of mind to make that kind of decision? No. Neither do I. God, what a mess. I can see the headlines now. Police interview mentally ill suspect without access to legal representation. They're going to have a field day.
Can you get me social services, please? Yes, thank you.
Hello. Ella Simon, Social Services. Got here as soon as I could.
Thanks for that. D.I. Chilton, Malky. Pleased to meet you, Ella. Please, have a seat. It's a strange one, really. But one I've not come across before. Some kid comes waltzing in here out of the blue, saying that he's copped somebody. Yet when we check it out, there's no body, no sign of a struggle. It doesn't make sense.
What about his mental health?
Confused is the only way I can describe it. One minute he's a wimpy kid, all jittery and nervous. The next he's flying off the handle like he's ready to swing for somebody.
Which could be all the more reason to believe he committed a crime.
Maybe. But like I said, there's no body, no sign of a struggle.
Would you mind?
Not at all.
You say he's got mood swings. How often does he get them?
Whenever you say something that he doesn't want to hear, he just snaps. And there's something else I've just remembered. Just before he turns all stroppy, he takes off his glasses.
Do you think he might have a multiple personality disorder?
Hell, I wouldn't know. But I do know this. If he's not, then he's a bloody good actor.
Can I talk to him?
Be my guest. I'll take you through.
Okay.
Something else bothering you?
To be honest, I feel a little bit out of my depth. I was the only one in the office when you called. And it sounded urgent. And this is the first time out on my own.
Don't worry. You'll be just fine. And if you need anything at all, I'll be right next door. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
This is Miss Simons, Ben. She'd like a word with you, if that's all right. You sure you don't want me to stay? Right then. I'll leave you to it.
Hello, Ben. My name's Ella. Do you mind if I sit down? You needn't say anything if you don't want to. But if you do want to say something, then that's okay too. Is there anything you want to tell me then? About the park, perhaps? The inspector tells me that.
Why don't they believe me?
I think you know why. There's no body. No one has been reported missing. Why's that, you think?
That night, the park. Betty keeps telling me. Can't think straight. It's all jumbled up in my head. And it hurts. It hurts. I want it to stop.
It's all right, Ben. I understand.
Don't touch me.
For fuck's sake. Now look what you've gone and done, you stupid bitch. He's not going to be able to see without those, is he? The wimpy little prick. 4 eyes. Oh no. Nobody loves me. I'm so hard done by. My head hurts. Whiny little shit.
Tell me about Benny.
Benny?
Do you see him often?
All the time. He's always there.
So he lives with you?
Ever since I came out of hospital.
And did you know him before that? Before coming out of hospital? So he's your friend now?
It just doesn't work like that with Benny. Being friends. Benny doesn't do friends.
How do you mean?
It's not someone you get close to.
If Benny's such a loner, how did you meet him?
Came in my flat one day, walked straight in off the street. It's been there ever since. Who the hell are you? And how did you get in here?
The door was open, so I came right in. Nice gaff.
I'll ask again. Who are you? And what are you doing here?
Don't worry about that for now. We'll get to that when the time comes. So how have you been?
You either leave right now, or I'm calling the police. I'll have you thrown out.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Not if you know what's good for
Are
you.
you threatening me?
No, not at all. I simply came here to talk, that's all.
About what?
Oh, how you coping? Find out what life might have been like if things had been different.
Different how?
We'll get to that. My name's James. That's not my real name, of course. That's just the name they gave me when they took me away. My real name's Benny. Just like you.
Ben. My name's Ben.
Ben, Benny, same thing. I never knew my real mother, of course. She gave me away when I was born. Tossed me aside like a... never existed. Sorry about that. Why should you be sorry? You didn't steal my life. Did you? Oh, no, hang a minute. You did, didn't you? While I was being handed around from place to place like a sack of shit, you were living the life that should have been mine. This is bullshit. Look, I don't know who you are or what you want, but the penny hasn't dropped yet. What? I am you, and you are me.
What the hell are you talking
You
about?
and me, one and the same. Twins.
I don't have a twin. Never did have.
Really? Are you sure
Yes,
about
I'm sure.
that? Then we'd better take another look.
There you see. The same person, you and me. Peas in a pod.
How did it make you feel? Seeing your face staring back at you from the mirror like that?
I didn't know what to think. Looked like me. Could have been me. I don't know.
What do you think he meant? I am you and you are me.
I thought the voices had come back.
Voices?
Inside my head.
You've heard voices before?
All the time.
And what did they tell you?
I'd done a bad thing. Made me feel guilty. Said I needed to be punished. But then I started taking the tablets and the voices went away.
Are you taking the tablets now? Can we go back to Benny for a moment? When he said he was your brother, did you believe him?
Not at first. No.
Do you believe him now?
I don't know. If he's not my brother, how does he know all those things?
Okay, for 1 minute, let's just imagine you are my brother. How come my mother never mentioned you?
She didn't want you to know.
She didn't want me to know.
She was unmarried, didn't have a job, nowhere to live. She couldn't feed both of us, so she had to choose. You or me. And I drew the short straw.
She just gave you away like that, without anyone knowing.
Like I never existed.
Sounds like an episode of Shameless to me. Think this is funny, do you?
Frankly, yes. My mother being destitute and abandoning one of us at birth. I'm sure I would have heard about that before now. Suit yourself. It's unbelievable. Look, I want you to leave right now.
Fine. Then I guess you'll never know, will you?
Know what?
The truth.
The truth is, you're some nutter that's walked in off the street. And now you're making wild accusations about my family. And all without a single shred of evidence to back it up.
That's because you haven't shut up.
What?
The evidence. The truth. You haven't stopped whining long enough for me to give it you.
You have evidence.
Didn't I just say that?
Okay. Come on then. Where is it? This mind-blowing revelation.
It's here.
And even if you have dreamed up evidence, why should I even bother listening to you?
Because if you don't, you'll always wonder. And that'll make you even crazier than you already are.
You said I was crazy.
You killed your mother, didn't you? How much more crazy do you want?
I did not kill anybody. I'd always wondered, but never knew where to look. Until one day, I picked up the paper and saw my face staring back at me. I knew I hadn't killed anybody, especially my mother, so I knew it wasn't me. What the hell are you talking about?
The photo in the paper. The one that I thought was of me.
Why are you doing this to me?
It was a newspaper clipping. You must have seen it a dozen times. And a photograph. It was of you, not Benny.
No, Benny said.
Do you believe everything Benny says?
Benny knows. Keeps me safe.
And why is that, you think?
Because he's my brother and keeps me safe, stops me doing bad things.
Your conscience? Benny's your conscience?
So, does his story check out?
As far as we can tell, he never had a brother. Never did have.
Any other siblings? No body, no brother. In that case, I think we should have him sectioned as soon as possible. Agreed?
She's just finishing up now.
Is that it?
For now. Before you go, Benny,
What did you call me?
we'll get to the truth eventually.
Really? How are you going to do that?
I'll find a way.
I doubt it. I'd like to go now, please. If you don't mind.
Thanks.
You're still not sure about this, are you? Not sure what to think.
1 minute, I'm convinced he's suffering from multiple personality disorder. The next, all I can see is a lying little shit.
For what it's worth, I agree. But we've done our job. Now it's time to hand him over and let the shrinks do theirs. Let them decide.
While we go home and forget all about it.
That's the job. Besides, even if he is pulling a flanker, we can't charge him with anything. As far as we know, there's no crime being committed to charge him with.
And if he's not?
Then we lock him away someplace and make sure that he can't do himself any harm. We have no choice.
I'm beginning to think I'm not cut out for this job. I came into it in the naive belief I'd be helping people. Now, I'm not so sure.
You're just tired, that's all. Tiredness plays tricks on the mind. You should know that better than anybody.
I know. Maybe.
I'm sure of it.
What I can't understand is why. If he conjured up Benny to offload his guilt or to pay for what he perceives he's done, that's one thing. But to admit to a murder he didn't commit, I don't see what he stands to gain from it.
It'll all come out in the wash.
I hope you're right.
I'm sure of it. Now get yourself home, have a nice cup of cocoa, straight to bed, and you'll feel much better in the morning. Right, let's get out of here, shall we?
Oh, shit.
Well, it's been good to meet you, Ella. No doubt our paths will cross again sometime in the future.
Not too soon, I hope.
What's going on?
Go
Go on, then, spit it out.
I was bursting for piss. I was only gone for a minute. When he come back, he's gone now.
Why didn't you just tie a knot in it? Don't just stand there, get after him. Bring him back. Bloody kids.
Fine, what do you want to know?
Tina Boland. She was CCPD. What happened to her?
Nothing but tragedy there.
Deep undercover and her partner got killed.
Get your coat.
What?
Get your coat! Get your fucking coat! And hurry up, the police will be here soon.
The police? What do the police want?
You'll find out soon enough.
We checked everywhere. The park, his home, nothing.
So what you're telling me is he simply walked out of here without anybody trying to stop him, and now he's disappeared into the night like the Scarlet Bloody Pimpernel?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. And what about you? Where were you while all this was going on?
I needed the toilet, and then when I slipped out for a minute and I come back...
We all make mistakes, ma'am.
Maybe we do. But sometimes heads have to roll for them. Oh, the press are going to love this. Homicidal maniac on the loose. Manic depressive, about to top himself. They can take their pick.
I'm sure it won't come to that. Before you know it, he'll be back in his cot in the hospital, some pretty little nurse taking care of his every need.
He'd better be.
Sit down there and shut the fuck up.
D.I. Chilton. You've got to be kidding me. When did this happen? No, I'll be right there.
What is it? What's wrong?
Just come with me. They've found a body at Rawn's Lake Park.
What happened?
It must have all become too much for him, and he decided to end it all.
I can't help feeling we let him down. Should have done more.
What more could we have done?
There's one more thing. I was talking to social services earlier. Ben's mother. She didn't die in a car accident. She's alive. Living in a nursing home.
In that case, I must have got it wrong.
Don't worry, Mummy. I'm here to look after you now.